Alright everybody, here we are. I hope I'm audible, and let's just simply continue from here on. And I hope I'm audible. Yeah, that's great. Alrighty, so everything's clear. Let's just simply get started, and we are gonna be working on this Excalidraw clone project. And coming back to this, so far we have worked on these many things. So let me click on this. This is how it actually looks like. Again, things are quite scattered here and there, and most of the features they're not even working. So ultimately you can create a board, and when you create a board, just inside that you can create many pages, and at the end of the day you have your board. Okay, coming back to this, let me just simply delete this part. So the next thing or the feature that we actually need to work on, that is deleting the pages. So let's just simply focus on that. That simply means when it comes to deleting that, so we need to have some kind of pop-up, and that gives an option, two options. First one is gonna be renamed, and second one is the deletion. So this is something that we are gonna be focusing on right now. Again, we'll be taking the help of AI to just simply create the front end, so that it doesn't really take a lot of time. But at the end of the day, what do we want? That is editor, and inside the editor we have this page section. So let me go there. Editor, inside the editor we have components, and then we have left sidebar, and this is how the left sidebar actually looks like right now. And inside that we have close button, that is okay, but at the end of the day, what am I missing here? We have the footer, that is just simply used for creating a new page, and we have this input. So ultimately this must be a mapper, and over here what do we actually want? That is just a sec. If I just double click on it, that gets removed. Click the enter, that gets saved. In that case, this is the input, and that's just the input part, and this is the span, that is just simply showing the page name, and apart from the page name we have this horizontal line. This is something we have to take care of. Okay, so when we click on this horizontal line, we need a pop-up to appear, right? But before even that, page.id is equal to this, then this particular, this is a dot if I'm not wrong. So if I make it bg red 300, as I said earlier, things are not structured well, so we need to just simply fix each and everything. Wait for a while, and let's see if the color of this changes. Yeah, that changes definitely. That simply means bg primary is gonna be enough over here. And apart from this particular thing, we have this. And now at the end of the day, what do we want? That whenever we click on it, a pop-up should appear, and inside that pop-up there should be a rename button, and there should be delete button. So what am I gonna do? Pretty simple. It's not like you can just type the code as well, but there is something called emergent. It can just get the job done easily, so why not? Let's do it really quickly. I mean, you can use any AI for that. I don't have quite what points here. Ultimately in a month you get around 10 points and all, but let's go with the new account. When it comes to the main front end part, and especially the work which can be done by the AI, it's just gonna be creating a component, and that will appear as soon as the button is clicked, and iState will be maintained. So if we can actually get it done by the AI, why not? So that we can focus on the important part or the main thing. Alrighty, so what do we want? That is create a component that appears whenever more, what is that? more horizontal, more button of the pages are clicked, it should have two options, rename and delete page. I think that is it. That should ideally be enough, and I'm not even sure whether there's an API for deleting the page, so we'll have to see that when it okay, let it be, let it just this much be, and see what it's gonna create. One more thing, what I forgot to tell you one thing, that it has to give the code right here. I need to pause it. Has it given it? Agent is running. Okay, writing a file, that's good. It is just simply writing it right here. I hope so. It will be able to understand or it will not. It's not a big deal, it should be doing it really quickly, but I just want the code to be here because you need to upgrade the plan if you wanna download that. For detailed implementation, I recommend okay, this is done, and here's the code. So let's see exactly what it has done here. So this is the page actions menu. Coming back to this, what it is doing, okay, it is just simply giving us all the options to just simply add it in there. That's not really a big deal as well. So let's do one thing. First of all, this is the component that it has created, so let's just simply copy it. Left sidebar will have page actions menu, page actions menu .ts, paste it in here. And apart from this particular thing, it's time to implement it, like integrate it. So integration in the left sidebar. So ultimately we need to have a few imports over here. That is right. Delete page, that is yet to be seen, but use remove page. Handle delete we have. We even have handle rename. We have use remove page. What is the issue? Just a sec. Alrighty, sorry for the delay. There was something wrong. Probably I just copied a few lesser things than expected. Well, that's not a problem. At the end of the day, we don't really have it here. So let's get rid of this. drop menu, trigger. What is missing? Return statement. Left hand side of an assignment expression must have a variable access property. Drop down as type. Alrighty, we don't really have drop down in here. Interesting. So let's do one thing. Let it be like this only. I'm just simply gonna get on the front end side ls bunex add shared cn at the latest drop down shared cn. When it comes to installing this is the command that is simply used for that. Alrighty, this seems to be done right now. Is still problematic. We have them here. Radix UI. What is missing here? Let me see now. Just a sec. So the main issue is here, these components. Drop down menu, even the issue is here as well. Interesting. Let me see how this is used. Drop down menu, drop down trigger. If I just simply use this in here directly, then what will happen? Okay, this is still problematic. Okay, I am missing something, and that something is the format. It should have been TS6 instead of TS. Crazy. Well, this is fine right now, and apart from this particular thing, if I actually come back to this, we have what all? Handle create, start editing, finish editing, page click. We even have use update page. So use update page, what does it mean? This is actually a selector, so if that is a selector, it should be sort of set or something. So this is use update page. Update page state. Just a sec. Update page state, use update page. That is okay, not really big problem. So add page, user, use update page, and this is how it simply goes on. This is pretty much fine. Okay, what's the next thing that we actually have to do in here? Page actions menu, that is okay. Delete page and use remove page. I'm not sure we have this particular API. And when it comes to removing the page, that needs to be removed from the DB as well, so we'll have to take care of this. So we have handle rename, remove page state, that is just a hook itself. let's just simply have it in here. And replace the trailing more space with this, so let's do it as well. So this particular section is gonna be removed, replaced with this. Lastly, small helpers you will need if present page APIs. We will have to create the page API, that is for sure, and use the remove page. We'll have to create, that is right. So let me see what all I have here. So when it comes to this, so we need to have remove page state, so it needs to be removed from the UI. Now the next thing that I actually have to check whether in the store store of what, that's the page, right? So when it comes to a page, so we have to go to the global state, so page store. Inside the selectors, do we have remove page? We have that, so we have to just simply pass what inside this remove page, what do we have to pass? Use page store, where is this coming from? This is just from here itself. Set page, add page, update page, remove page, this is the one. It just simply gets the page ID and on the basis of that thing it removes it, right? Alrighty, this is it. In that case we can even get it here. So the way we have update page, the same way we can even get const remove page, again state for sure. So use remove page, and that is it. So at the end of the day we are just simply passing the ID here, that is get await delete page. Now we have to check whether we have this delete page API. So when it comes to the APIs, so inside the, what kind of API am I looking for? API for the left sidebar, we have the shape, we don't really have it here. Why do we even have the API in here? Editor itself has the networking. Alrighty, so when it comes to this, so ultimately I have these APIs over here. I have page API in here, and then storage inside this. So the API related to the page and the store related to the page is here, that is fine. Let's take care of this API here. Ultimately they are not together, that is the problematic thing. So page is here, and at the end of the day, forget about this, there's nothing in there. So inside features we have page, so page has everything related to the page. Then inside editor we have networking, so everything related to editor, all the APIs are here. So when it comes to this, so we have image, shape and upload. That's not really bad either. So okay, that's fine. Similarly in the dashboard we'll have everything related to the just dashboard. As for right now we don't really have anything. When it comes to the board, so board will have board API and the store. I'm not sure whether this is a good structure or not. The board has its own API, its own state, and this board is in here. Similarly we have the page. That's not that bad. Page will have everything related to the page, board will have everything related to the board. Ultimately we are working on the page section right now, so let's go to the API. And over here, do we have remove page? We have delete page over here. We have to just simply pass the API, and the request is gonna go to the backend, right? Delete page. first of all, the best thing could be that naming them delete page API, but that can be done later. As for right now, let's name it at least this one. This is actually gonna be delete page API. Okay, let's just play with one and do not remove everything at the same time. Delete page API. Alrighty, if the deleted page was open route to another one or dashboard, that is right. So if that particular page got deleted, so if ID is triple equals to the page ID that is there, then fallback is gonna be the another page, so another one, that is okay. And router.push board, so fallback ID, otherwise board.id. board.id, if all the pages they've been removed, then okay, it's gonna be redirected to the board, that is fine. And we can just simply have this fallback in here as well. And if there's any error, so revert optimistic update or show toast. This is something that we have to take care of. So revert optimistic update or show update, show toast. So if there is any error, so we have to revert back. Reverting back means what? If we deleted the page and if there was any error, so we have to get the pages again. That simply means const. Do we have the pages in here, previous ones? We do have the pages. Once we actually have, then we must have set pages as well. We have add page. Once we have the ID, so const page is gonna be equals to what? Pages dot find page dot pages dot ID, that's triple equals to the ID that we have over here. So we have the page, and if for some reason there is an error, then what we will do, add page, and this particular page is gonna be added. This add page comes from here, and page is undefined. It turns out we'll have to have the selected page over here. How would we get this page? In that case, that's not gonna be the selected page, rather that's gonna be, so clicked page. What should be the name of the state? We need to maintain a state for sure. Const page ID, that's not gonna be the best name. Selected page ID. Okay, but even that's not the correct one. What should be the name of the state? ChatGPT would be better for it. If I click on a page to rename or delete, and there can be many, what should be the name of the state that stores the ID? Okay, rename page id. I can even rename or delete the active or inactive pages. That's the problem. In that case, target page id. Yeah, that's not really bad deal. Target page id. So target page id, set target page id, and that's gonna be used it. That's gonna be just string or null. Alrighty, so once we did this over here, set target page id, that's gonna be the id over here, and at the end, if there's any error, so we'll get the page, we'll add the page over here. This can be undefined, so if we actually have the page, then only we are gonna be doing it. And finally, set target page, that's gonna be null. Yeah, that is it. That's all that we actually need to do. And apart from this particular thing, am I missing something? We have the fallback, we have everything. Let's try this thing, whether it actually works or not. I haven't even checked the result, how it looks like. Reload it. And one thing that I didn't check right here, that what all we are passing in here. We are passing the page id, page name, on rename, and on delete. On rename, handle rename, start editing, that simply means we'll get that input over there. That's fine, not really bad deal. And then we have handle delete. Handle delete does these types of things, so overall fine. So if I click on this, I get this in here. We can rename, isn't that really bad? But okay, never mind. What's wrong with this? Let's change it a little bit, and that a little bit is if I'm actually editing, so target page id is not really being used. Handle delete, where is this id coming from? Oh, literally, I'm so crazy person. We already had the id in here. With the help of that id we can find, so why do we even need to have the target? I lost my mind. I thought I need to store the id somewhere, but that's just part of a function, so the id can directly be used in here, so why do we even need to have it? We don't. And apart from this particular thing, editing page id, this will make sure that we have an editing page. And as we click on rename, so handle rename, we just simply set the id in here. That simply means if I don't have editing page id, only in that case I have to render this. This is still here. sorry, if I don't have not, if I have the editing page ID, no, this is right, it can be null. And rename, on rename only we set the editing page ID. Editing page ID, that's triple equals to panes.id. In that case I have to show this input box, otherwise I don't have to. Okay, and as for this one, why is this not getting removed? It needs to re-render. The logic is pretty simple, that if I don't have the panes editing panes.id, but the panes.id is definitely gonna be there, right? When am I setting this? Set editing panes.id, handle create page, that particular page is being edited. Then start editing, whenever we start editing, at that time we set it. Finish editing, we set it to null, and then this is where it is. So at the end of the day, whenever we create a page, at the time set editing page ID is set here. That is right. Then we have set editing page ID whenever we start editing, that is also fine. And when finish editing happens, at that time we set it to null. Great. And if that editing ID is there, that simply means I don't have to show the page action menu. As simple as that. But I'm not sure if I have that or not. Editing page ID, let's see. Interesting. So whenever I rename, okay, we are not setting that, got it. So whenever I rename, set editing page ID, that's gonna be the ID. Let's create few more pages. Now if I click on this and click on rename, you've got to be kidding me. Literally set editing page ID. Set editing page ID. Once that is actually done, so why don't I see it in here? That's crazy. I'm missing definitely something. Editing page ID set. What is wrong? This function itself is not getting called. Handle rename. Where is this being even called? Alert. Renaming. On rename is here, and when it comes to this, so whenever we click on what, this drop down, this is the trigger. And trigger is that more tool, right? Horizontal. And type on click. So whenever we click on it, this gets visible. On rename is called, so we just simply pass it, but this does not disappear. Why is that so? It should ideally be disappearing, but it is not disappearing, mainly because it is dropped down. There must be something open here. Nope. How about setting it to false? Will it still appear? It won't. So now direct way is not gonna work, mainly because of this is a drop down menu if I'm not wrong. So editing, change ID. So if that is true, then it will become false, and hence it should not be opened. But if I actually use open in here and not editing page ID, then I'm gonna be getting it thrice. Then this doesn't work either. Okay, so and even I cannot say that if I don't have actually if I have editing page ID, then return from here. No, it is still visible, and this is mainly because this is drop down. So if I do not use the drop down in here, then we'll have to do it manually. Let me see if AI can help me with this. Remove the drop down when there's editing page ID. Has two issues. Return is invalid for React component, so we have to return it hides the drop down for every page whenever any page is being edited. So if that is currently equals to this, then we have to return is. Will it work? I'm not sure. Returning null. It does not work, mainly because this is drop down. It won't work because drop down is being used. It doesn't. Is that so? No, drop down itself is not the region. Returning null absolutely works provided the component is actually rendered. For example, this is perfectly valid. Page actions dropped in menu. On rename is not being called. That is actually being called. Then we have to see it well. Handle rename, alert renaming. So whenever we click on rename button, it should be renaming that. It definitely deletes that, but it doesn't rename it well and removes it. Rename on select on rename page.id and this. Rename check. So that is running, but as for this on rename, that is actually being passed from here. This is not really being called. Literally, this is insane. Even when we are not doing anything. Is it caching related issue or something else? Ideally it should be working. If I'm not rendering that, the component should not be rendered. As simple as that. But even that particular function is not sort of running. What kind of effect this is? This is the page actions menu. And drop down trigger. There is something wrong with this. We have to just simply fix it. Either I can directly take the help of AI to just simply fix this, but I do not know the reason yet, exactly why it doesn't work. So blindly it's not even good stuff to take the help of AI. And the second thing is that directly replace it. So instead of using the drop menu, directly create this. But ideally drop menu should be enough. So whenever we click on any option, this drop menu actually gets removed. Right. In that case, so drop menu item. Why to prevent the default behavior in here? As expected. So this was the first thing that need to be removed, and we are preventing the default behavior. That is why it does not work. This is the first thing, and the second thing is that if I have editing page ID, then this trigger editing page ID, in that case I don't have to. If I have it, it will become false and then it will not be visible. A bit better, but we still have this. When we don't have, then only it should be visible, otherwise it should be hidden. in that case always visible, that's false. So we have this to just simply render this, right? In that case always visible, editing, change id. So if I don't have the page.id, then it should be visible. If I have that, it should become false, and it should not be visible. And the fact is that once we start editing something, all of them are being edited at once. Ah, that's insane. So yeah, if one style is applied to one, that style will be applied to all. Instead of using drop down, stop using drop down, because if one is being edited, it has the effect on all. If one is being edited, it has the effect on all. What's this? Why is he calling right now? I'm gonna be calling him back. Alrighty, then I'm just simply gonna take a break right now. As for this, it is gonna be either fixed using the drop down, or it's gonna be fixed without using the drop down. Right now the only problem is that if I use the drop down, then if I just start editing one, it has the effect on all of them, and they are the drop down items, so it is definitely gonna have the effect on them. So probably we need to stop using drop down. That's the only way. We'll fix it anyway. I'll be back soon. Until then, bye bye, take care and see you.